Hello everyone and welcome to the T6 Touring Championship here for round 3 for races 5 and 6 at Long Beach, California in the great US of A. We're at the fabled and coveted street circuit here, 11 corners, and the drivers getting out there ready for qualifying themselves. But yeah, we'll have the qualifying to set the grid, and then of course we have 2 races of 25 minutes each. The second one will be somewhat of a reverse grid. My name is Ashley Denman, sat alone in the box this evening and bringing you the fantastic stream, and well, the very championship itself is which weatherall behind the scenes. What an evening we're going to be in for here. Sit down, get comfortable, find a drink, possibly a snack, because here we go with this session coming up. We'll have a quick look at the championship standings, because this is how they sit at the moment after the first rounds in Monza and Hungary. And Daniel Hurlock picked up his second win on the second time out at Hungary last time. Chris Gravett sits in second there, 62-60 points respectively. Luke Mitchell with a disappointing first race last time, but make up for it in the second. He sits third. Alessandro Cappa is fourth, sitting pretty steadily at the moment there. And Vlad Tokarev is fifth. As we move on to the second half of the top 10, we have Callum Wilson in sixth, Jordan Osborne seventh, Alan Axon eighth, Michael Clough is ninth, and Carlo Messina in 10th. And those Honda boys probably hoping for a little bit of hometown magic here this evening, as Long Beach is of course named after the Acura or Honda, depending on what side of the pond you hail from. But the circuit itself, 1.968 miles as it is here, or 3.16 kilometers back in Europe. And current track record holder Alessandro Cappa with a 122.325. And then of course you've got a few notable corners and start-finish straight. Shoreline drive down the first stretch there, through the kink of Bridgestone, and then into the first proper overtaking zone of Toyota, turn number 2. And who could forget the fabled fountain, turns 3 and 4. I'm sure we'll see plenty of action around there too. And don't forget the final corner, getting you back onto that start-finish straight. Very, very tricky right-hander. Luckily, the weather's looking nice and clear, everybody. 28 degrees all around, up and down. So track temperature is going to be quite toasty as well. But for a street circuit, that's not the worst thing in the world. Other notable corners are going to be Pine Avenue of turn 8, and of course turn 9 as well, Firestone Corner, which is the not penultimate corner, that's Indy left. It's going to be the right-hander into the penultimate. Another good few overtaking opportunities. This is the Pine Avenue I just mentioned, turn 8, and then you're coming up towards Firestone Corner now of turn 9. Vlad currently holding the top spot in provisional pole here for the moment. Just 3.5 minutes left in his lovely 666 Studio Pink liveried Ford. Through the Indy left, and then this is that tricky right-hander I was talking about. You've got to get it super slowed up because it is oh so tight. Only really one racing line, and then back onto Shoreline Drive to finish off the lap. Will this be an improvement for Vlad, because he's been pipped by Daniel Hurlock, but never mind, because he's gone right back up into provisional pole and is now in the 121s, first driver to do so as well. Christian Diaz-Emil now over the line. Can he find an improvement here? Where is he currently? Just trying to see, 14th. I don't think he improved on that occasion, but he's going to have another go at it, of course. Alessandro Cappa, 4th in qualifying and currently 4th in the standings as well. Green in the first sector, so looking pretty good so far. Of course, we're just trying to work out who has got some raw speed around this circuit. Very tight and twisty. The walls come up at you very, very quickly indeed. Through Indy left now. One corner left to go for Cappa, and it is an important one because it is the longest straight on the circuit. You really want to nail it, maximise the exit speed as best you can, climb the gears up. And then as you make your way over the start-finish, did Cappa improve? I don't think he did. I think he's actually lost a few positions with other people setting their laps. Callum Wilson next to the line. Can he improve from 8th? Yes, he can. Goes 5th fastest now. Kappa went to second, sorry, I do apologise. I'm getting confused with the names that begin with a C. I was looking at Cripps down in 8th. Kappa did improve, he went up to second, and he's knocking on the door then of provisional pole there as well, still with another lap to go at least to see what he can do and manage. Jordan Osborne sat 9th at the moment. Making his way now into turn number 9. Let's see where he can find that car. Can he find an improvement as well? It's green first sector, so there's improvement there. Yellow's in the second, so it could be touch and go as he now comes up to the start-finish line, whether he improves or not. It's quite an interesting field spread as well. He did improve up to 7th, so it's not a bad improvement, you could say. But he's still a second off of provisional pole at the moment, which is Tokarev. 18 drivers here this evening. Here comes Callum Cripps. Green first sector, green second sector. Looking good for him in his Honda. Very nice livery as well. I love the pearlescent sort of ness to that. It changes in the sun. Down Shoreline Drive up to the start-finish line. Can Cripps find an improvement? I think he will. Does find a very nice improvement indeed. Goes to just under 3/10 away from provisional pole. He'd be second on the second row of the grid now with that lap. Simon Trebek currently down. Oh, there's a mistake, and that's the wall. That's what I've been talking about. It's so easy to get it wrong in that final corner. And that's going to be qualifying done for him, I think. He'll set the lap, but it's not going to be anywhere near what he needs. And he doesn't have time to go again. Axon now still on a lap and improving in the first sector through turn 7. Towards Pine Avenue. God, get it all shades of squirrely through the right-hander. That was fantastic. I don't know if it's going to be quick, though. We'll find out as he gets to the line. No, it's not. Yellow middle sector there for Axon. He definitely gets some style points, though, that's for sure. Through Indy left, turn 10. And the final corner now, turn 11, onto Shoreline Drive again. I think only one other driver out on circuit. Sorry, 2 are out there. Callum Wilson, Alan Axon coming up to the line now, and Uhalau currently 16th and still on a lap. Wilson 6th is in. Axon didn't improve, which I'm not surprised by his antics of getting it sideways. But and I think Uhalau has also given up the go. So qualifying done and dusted then. The grid is well and truly set up and ready to go for the green flag conditions. And Vlad Tokarev takes pole position, the only driver to get in the 121s here. Alessandro Kappa will take second and still on the first row with Daniel Hurlock third, Callum Cripps 4th. Chris Crevette, Callum Wilson, Carlo Messina, Osborne, Axon and Lowe, your top 10. And then we get to Michelon, Zerwes, Temenga, Diaz-Emil, Barthez, Uhalau, Bibiloni, and Trebek rounding out the rest of the grid. We'll get back to those in a few short moments' time when we are lined up for the grid itself. And we can see the rundown before we get going really and truthfully for this first race. I mean, it's certainly going to be an interesting one. Like I said earlier, it's a very tight, twisty-natured circuit. Brilliant overtaking opportunities are going to be into Toyota of turn, feels like it's turn 1. It's technically turn 2. But of course, the flat-out kink is turn 1 of Bridgestone. But yeah, turn 2 of Toyota definitely going to be a nice opportunity to overtake. You'll see them as they file their way out of pit road now. Feels like they're all coming out of a little car park from the back there. This is the actual pit lane here, but you can't store the cars here, obviously, because you're basically on an actual road. It sort of gets converted. It's a temporary circuit, this, for Long Beach. Got the palm trees and everything, and like we saw with the overshot a moment ago, you are right next to the harbour. And you can see here now on pit exit down here, this is turn 2 of Toyota. Look how tight this is, heavy braking zone, and it's sort of inviting it to a degree. It's nice and wide on entry. It then of course does tighten up here into turns 3 and 4 through the fountain. 5 is a very deceptive corner, which we're riding on board with now, and then into 6 as well. Deceptive because they look like you have tons and tons of room to use, but the walls come up on you very, very quick indeed. And before you know it, you can tag the wall and your lap's done, but you're also going to lose tons of time, maybe even a bit of damage. This is a nice wide corner, and you can use all the road available for yourself as well. That's turn 7 into Pine Avenue. Similar sort of situation. You're going to cut over the little rumble strip there and use as much of the circuit as you can. But like I say, super tight, but it also is super important to maximise these exits onto these fairly lengthy straights. Turn 9, Firestone corner. Fantastic name for a corner. Into Indy. And you want to hug that left side to open up this final corner as much as you can, as it is so tight. And then onto Shoreline Drive, up to the start-finish line. That is basically an entire lap of this circuit. Of course, we're through Bridgestone now as well of turn 1. But yeah, it certainly is technical and challenging, and going to be racing head-to-head, these guys, of course. They're very, very skilled indeed. But it is still going to be a challenge for them, particularly going side by side, potentially a bit of wheel to wheel. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. Looked like maybe getting a practice start in there as he got onto the grid itself. This is just warm up for these guys though. Getting their final eye in, making sure they're happy with everything. Whilst we do wait for that, why don't we have a quick look over at the team standings. Unfortunately, Rich hasn't got a thing, but I can go through it with everybody here. Currently leading is the team of Luke Mitchell and Daniel Hurlock, powered by Loadout Racing. They're on 119. The Unlimited Hyundai outfit with Chris Gravett and Alan Axon, they're in second on 90. With Mixed Wheels, and on his lonesome is Alessandro Cappa in third. Richards & Co. with Callum Wilson, he is also on his own in fourth there, 53 and 45 points respectively. Then we get to the Unlimited Honda team of Trebek and Osborne, Unlimited Fastra of Clough and Temenga, Mixed Wheels 1 with Messina and Caravello, Grow Racing team with Reino in 8th, Osmos Ware Esport is Emil and Michelin, Dark Sim Racing is 10th, and Esports Racing Argentina is unfortunately at the back with only 1 point to the name. I'm sure they would love to improve on that tally, and I can't see why they couldn't. They've definitely got a nice set of drivers in that team. As we are now getting ready to go for the grid, we'll have a warm-up lap as well, so it's not straight into the green. I know that has caught a few of us out a few times over when we do these events. I think more Darragh than myself, but enough about me ripping on Darragh here, bless him. He has, of course, done his best, and I watched last time out as well, and he absolutely nailed it, so fair play to him. But yes, we'll have a warm-up lap first of all. We'll go through the grid once again and get ready for 25 minutes around this stunning circuit that is Long Beach. Brilliant camera shot, zooming out and everything. Love that. Most of the cars are on the grid. I think, yeah, there we go. Missing the final one. So now they'll pull away. Tokarev is, of course, leading them. Kappa alongside on that front row. Start is definitely going to be crucial here. It's going to be a brilliant opportunity to make some positions up. But here we go with the grid itself. Vlad Tokarev is on pole position with Alessandro Cappa alongside. Daniel Hurlock and Callum Cripps line up on the second row. Third row is going to consist of Chris Gravett and Callum Wilson, with the fourth of Carlo Messina and Jordan Osborne, 7th and 8th. Next row of the grid, 9 and 10, Alan Axon and Nick Lowe, with Fabian Michelin, and keeping him company is David Zerwes on the row behind. They're 11th and 12th. 13th, 14th, Anton Temenga and Christian Diaz-Emil, with Roman Barthez and Radia Uhalau, 15th and 16th. And on the final row of the grid, we've got Emmanuel Bibaloni and Simon Trebek, 17th and 18th. Trebek with a massive mountain to climb for this race. He never really got a lap together in qualifying, so he's got all the work to do. He's got every driver in front of him, so he can't really lose anything. unless of course he does go for a Burton and totals the car, but he's definitely got some high caliber skills at his fingertips. I'm sure he will manage it very well indeed. But a few corners left and then getting ready for the grid itself, and we'll go green here. And just before we do, I'll give a quick mention to, of course, our fantastic sponsors, Phoenix Sim Racing and Demon Tweaks. Thank you very much for supporting the T6 Touring Championship. And we'll go into that a little bit later about what each of those fantastic companies do and what they offer to sim racers. But before we get to that, of course, just waiting for the stragglers at the back. You can see there Herlock lining his car up, trying to straight line it as much as he can to try and get the perfect start. I think Gravette behind him as well has tried to do a similar sort of tactic, sort of aiming it a bit more towards the corner. And here comes the klaxon. The lights will be on, getting ready to go for green. And there they go, hurtling down towards turn number 1. Looks like Kappa got a slightly better start than Tokarev. They're going to be side by side. Herlock got a pretty decent getaway as well. Cripps is, though, keeping him company, and they're now going to maybe try and make it 3 wide into turn 1. This is definitely a brilliant chance if you can. Kappa's going to lead into turn 1, though. Tokarev having to defend. That's Cripps, and Herlock having a little bit of a door bang into turn 2 of Toyota. Now through the fountain. Only real one racing line. Very tricky to try and go side by side. Kappa defending into turn 5 as on 2 wheels was Daniel Herlock. Fantastic as he found his way into turn 6 there, keeping it all neat and tidy so far. And I think everyone has made it through the opening first corners and already found their sort of single fileness as I was kind of expecting it to do. But definitely still positions up for grabs where the field is so close together. That looks like, I think that might have been Osborne having a little look. No, it's not. It's Messina, sorry. It's Messina managed to find his way through. Who is that trying to make a little look? I think it's Axon and Lowe potentially going blow to blow. No, it's not. It's Christian Diaz-Emil having to look defensive. And I think Lowe managed to get past him quite neat and tidy into turn 9. But they're already back on Shoreline Drive. Quite a short lap here, only about 1 minute 20 seconds or so. Well, we saw from qualifying about 22, so maybe add a second or so for full fuel. But down towards turn number 2, Toyota, heavy braking zone. Like I say, brilliant chance for some overtaking here. Clip the curb and careful of the wall on your right. And then again, you're going to dance on the brakes in through the fountain, feathering it and trying to absolutely, you're trying to, you know, find the little gaps in between the walls effectively, which is the racing line. You really are being ever so precise when doing so. Kappa still leads from Tokarev 2nd, Cripps 3rd and Herlock 4th. And you get a little bit of a gap back to Gravette in 5th, as we're still looking here at Christian Diaz-Emil. He's right behind Lowe for the P10 spot, and they're going at it here. Jump forward to Wilson into turn 8 there. Is this a chance with some slipstream to maybe make a move? He's definitely going to be looking in his mirrors as he's got Osborne keeping him company behind, but of course he wants to get further up the field if he can, and he's got Chris Gravette in front of him. We know how hard Chris Gravette can fight and defend her position. We've learnt that from Monza. Definitely not an easy chap to overtake as they now make their way onto the start finish for the 2nd time. Still got every driver in the race without incident, which is fantastic to see. And I'm very, very surprised considering the type of circuit that we're racing on. Of course, first street circuit, I think potentially the only street circuit we have here for the season. Depending on how you want to look at Bathurst. But for me, Bathurst is, of course, pretty much permanent, but it is on public roads as well. Feels like a street circuit when you go over the mountain, but less about the mountain and more about Long Beach, the sandy beaches, the sunny skies, and the fantastic street circuits to go racing on. Very bumpy as well, I will add. That's very typical of an American circuit. Lots of bumps out there. Looks as though Osborne did manage as I say, managed to get past her. He's still managing to defend very nicely indeed. This is a Diaz-Emil now on his teammate. Going to get past. I think he's done it quite easily. Yes, he has. He's passed Michelin now for P10. Into the final corner. Oh, sorry, it's Axon. He just got Axon just got past Diaz-Emil. Apologies. Same livery car. I'm okay to be forgiven for that one, I think. Either way, jumping back to the front. Kappa still leads. That looked like he just clipped the wall there through turn 1. I wonder if he's feeling the pressure with Tokarev behind. Tokarev, of course, winning the first round of Hungary, so he's definitely got it in him, and he's right at the sharp end here again for the third round. Race 5. Into turn 7. Everything looking neat and tidy for the moment. That will definitely change when we get into the closing stages of the race. I can guarantee you that. First 5 minutes already gone now. Here's a nice close battle that we can watch unfold. Jordan Osborne right in the middle of it. He's got Callum Wilson in front of him in 6th, and he's got Messina right up his chuff in 8th. Pulling out the slipstream, trying to break some of that toe as they go through turn 9 now, Firestone corner. Now 10 of Indy. Neat and tidy for turn 11. You're looking at the exit, remember. It's going to concertina up just like that. Bit of bumper cars. That's all okay in these things. They're pretty tanky. And on to Shoreline Drive. You're going to want to pick up the slipstream as best you can. Maybe use some of that battery that you are able to deploy around here. You get 15 seconds per lap. I feel like we've neglected that somewhat as a bit of a strategic element in this series, but it definitely is a thing, and these drivers will use it to when they feel they've got a brilliant chance at making a move. They may use it to defend, of course, as well, but you are limited on how much you can use. It's 15 seconds every lap, but you can't use it every lap because you will run out of it eventually, and then you really are under threat from cars behind. Or if you are behind, you ain't catching up, let's put it that way. Jordan Osborne hounding the back of Callum Wilson there. Practically pushing him through these corners. Turn 8 now, Pine Avenue. Important exit once again because it is a bit of a lengthy straight up to turn 9. Slipstream is going to be a bit of a factor. Maybe some of that battery, like I said. It's a good chance to get by here, but no moves as of yet. Still line astern. As Messina, I think, might have a little look into Indy. There's a yellow flag out. I'm trying to work out who that is. I think it could be. Looking at my timing screen to the left, I've got Simon Trebek as they're on exit here, though. They're going to be side by side. It looks as though Osborne managed to do a bit of the up and under, got a fantastic exit, and now Wilson is definitely going to come under threat here into turn number 2. Through 1 they go at Bridgestone, side by side. The momentum swinging towards Osborne, but Wilson has the inside line. Can he be later on the brakes? There they go, still side by side into the corner, and Osborne sweeps around the outside. He should have the line for the next one into the fountain. Yes, he does. Just about, my word. But they're going to be side by side again on exit. Wilson's going to tuck in though and give up the ghost on that one, because turn 5 here, you really don't want to be side by side. You will lose too much time. And just like that, Jordan Osborne managed to get the move done in spectacular fashion as well. You don't often see a move around here, but when you do, they normally are stunners. Here's a potential move for Anton Temenga, trying to go round the outside as well on Nick Lowe. Nick Lowe definitely still putting up the fight there as they now get to Pine Avenue, turn 8. Nick going for the up and under. Now he's going to try and have to out-drag Temenga. I think he's going to be able to just about do it. They're definitely going to be side by side here into turn 9. This is, of course, the battle for P11. They're still going to be side by side. Now advantage back to Temenga. However, turn 11, tight right-hander. Is Nick going to go for it? He's going to send it. Oh, that was always going to close. And now Zerwes is going to go round the outside of Lowe and pick up that as a nice freebie. He'll be happy with that one, Will Zerwes. Temenga maybe not so much. He felt he was, he knew he was going to close the door probably. Oh, it's a huge mistake. That's... Oh, I'm trying to work out who that is. That's Osborne. That's Osborne. Massive mistake. Wilson's through. Messina's through. And Osborne losing 2 positions in 1 corner. Massive. And this 4-car battle has now turned into 5 because Axon has managed to catch the back of them. This is thrilling action here. Just under 10 minutes gone. Oh no, boys. Oh, he's going for the up and under. Did he get it on the brakes? No, he couldn't quite do it. Messina had a look. He's going to be vulnerable now on this back straight. Or is he? Because Osborne's let his teammate go. And he's still hounding the back of Callum Wilson. Into 9. No move of yet. Messina trying his absolute best to try and find a gap. Can he do what he's done? Well, I say once before. Osborne did it once before. Maybe this is your best chance into turn 2 of Toyota. Looks as though Osborne's trying to get back past Axon. I think he's going to do that very easy indeed. I think that might have been a bit of battery use there. It seemed to be like he was standing still. Into turn 2. Wilson still heading this pack, but Messina right under his rear wing, applying the pressure. Axon now there as well. None of these drivers are any slouches, as we of course know, battling it hard. As I've just been given confirmation that Barthez and Trebek are out of this race. So we've lost 2 drivers, unfortunately. We're down to 16. I think maybe Bibaloni could be a 3rd there. But for now, we're still going to watch this battle unfold. Here comes the chance potentially for Messina. He might have to do it the long way around. Will he try and go back up and under? Switches left, switches right. Doesn't go for it in the end, but Wilson offline. So he's definitely feeling the pressure now. It's piling on. Turn 11, not really an overtaking chance, but can Messina get the better exit? He's definitely looking stronger in that part of the circuit, and Wilson does seem to struggle a little bit. Down Shoreline Drive, through Bridgestone. Will we see a move to turn 2? I don't think on this occasion. Gaps are looking too big at the moment. All it takes, though, is one little lock, one little lapse of concentration, and you're right there. And if you're not right there, you're the person in the wall. Out of turn 6, up to 7. To Kate turn, it is known as. Like I say, widest corner on the circuit. I would say it's the fastest corner, but you have to take into account turn 1 is technically a flat-out kink. This is a move, though, for Daniel Hurlock. Chris Gravett managed to get past him at some point in this race, and now Hurlock's trying to fight it back. So the battle for P4 very much on. Oh, that's the wall, though, for Hurlock. He's going to lose some momentum now. He might try and make up for that with a little bit of a battery boost over the start-finish line. Kappa still leads from Tokarev behind. The gap just hovering around about the half a second mark. Callum Cripps is 3rd. He's about half a second behind those 2 as well. So the top 3 very close to each other. Gravett is 4th and battling with Hurlock. This is the battle for 6th position. Messina's finally able to get alongside Wilson now into the braking zone of turn 2. Can we see another repeat potentially? Yes, we may do. Round the outside, he might have to give it up though. Yes, he does. Files back into single digits. Into 3 and 4, now 5. Still, of course, very much single file this point of the circuit. If you're going side by side, you are really just going to be losing out. I think Wilson's finally given it up though, because Messina's through relatively easily there. And now you've got the 2 Unlimited boys behind, champing at the bit. They're racing themselves as there's going to be Axon down this. Oh no, there's big contact. Oh no! Round goes Round went Axon, sorry. Or was it Axon? No, sorry, Osborne. Round went Osborne. Oh, I'm getting very confused for a second. It wasn't. It was a Diaz-Emil. Completely mixed up there. Oh no, came all undone. This is the battle for the lead though. Once again, top three separated by practically nothing at all. Tokarev still applying the pressure to Kappa. Both of these drivers have been race winners so far this season. Question is, can Cripps get on that tally sheet? That is the question. I don't believe he's done it. No, he has not. So Callum Cripps in third, but eyeing up potentially his first win of the season. It's definitely on the cards. Just over 10 minutes to go. Anything can happen with this front three. Still Kappa leading though from Tokarev and then Cripps third there. A bit further back, Chris Gravet is still lying in fourth with Daniel Hurlock not far behind him, but not really challenging. And then you have a big gap all the way back to Messina, who's sixth now. Callum Wilson seventh, Alan Axon eighth, Jordan Osborne ninth. That's still a four-car battle there, but it's spaced out a little bit more. Zerwes has found his way up to 10th. Radio Uhalau is up 5 positions from his starting position in 11th there. That's very impressive indeed. You don't tend to find many positions around this circuit, so that's mighty impressive. Nick Loaf is 12th, Michelin is 13th, Temenga 14th, Diaz-Emil we just saw having a moment, well, he had a contact with, I believe, Osborne. He's 15th. Bibaloni 16th after having to pit, so he's well down. And of course, Barthez Trebek have retired. This is a chance though for Michelin. P13 currently looking for that P12 spot. He's going around the outside of Bridgestone, turn number 1. Late on the brakes, using all of the road available to them, is low. And Michelin gets it stopped nice and easy and makes up that position, confirms it, you could say. As now Cripps has gotten past Tokarev. So the front threes have changed slightly. This is the chance for Kappa to try and pull away though. Cripps now in second, but he's lost a little bit of ground to Kappa just because of the having to overtake Tokarev. Going to be interesting to see how this battle further unfolds. The gap 0.7 between Kappa and Cripps. Tokarev is right behind as well, of course. You can see all three of them here on your screen. Nothing really separating any of these drivers. Can Kappa get a second? Can Cripps get his first? Or will Tokarev also pick up his second race win of the season? This is Alan Axon now getting past Callum Wilson. I say that as no, he is not, because Wilson absolutely sent it steaming in there into the fountain. They just about managed to clean it all up for the exit of the corner into turn 5. Their line astern once again. Wilson was not willing to give that position up so easily. Axon fully felt the brunt of that one, I'm sure. Still though, of course, touring cars are nice and sturdy. Like I said earlier, tank-like almost in a racing sense. That's a bit of a hit from Tokarev in the final corner. That's going to cost him now all the way down Shoreline Drive and into turn 2. It's not costing him all that much. But hitting the wall, not ideal. And I'm sure we'll find out very, very soon how many cars are going to be made for the reverse grid. Of course, for Hungary last time out, we had the maximum of 12. Before that, we had 7 at Monza. I wonder what the wheel is going to spin this time. And so what that means is whatever the number lands on, that many from the top down. So if it's 6, the top 6 will be reversed for the second race. If it's 12, it's down to 12, of course. Nice and self-explanatory. But we'll find that out very, very soon. We've got just over 6 minutes left in this race. We've got a few battles still happening out on the circuit. You've got Wilson, Axon and Osborne here battling for P7. Messina has sort of scarpered a bit down the road after managing to get past Wilson. Wilson a little bit of a roadblock here, it seems. Lap times, the top sort of, well, the top four actually are in the 123s, massively quicker than the rest of the field. You get down to Herlock, he's in the 24s, and then you jump to seventh of Callum Wilson, he's in the 26s, so a huge gap back there. As Fabian Michelon gets past Uhalau for 11th. Nice move there from Michelon. He's net back where he started. As now we have just over 5 minutes left. Lap 15. That's a bit out of shape for Kappa on the exit of the fountain. But cleans it up nicely. Like, not really an overtaking chance here. Look how close the top three are. They're bumper to bumper. Are we going to see some more moves soon? Cripps flashing his lights. Clearly feels he's got a bit more pace in that car. Is, can he get past and unleash it? That's the biggest question of all. Oh, they're practically pushing each other around. Down the back straight now towards Firestone Corner. Overtaking opportunity. Is it going to be one though? As had a look, Cripps had a look. Thought about it, but unable to get later on the brakes than Kappa. I think Kappa might have been a bit wise to that as well. This is the one you've got to focus on most of all. Good exit out of the final corner onto Shoreline Drive and the run down to turn 2. This is the longest straight with a kink, of course, but it's the longest flat out section of the circuit. And it really does give you the best overtaking opportunity down towards turn number 2 of Toyota. Kappa still leads. Cripps still second and Tokarev still third. Into the fountain. Not literally, but around it. Getting it as close to the wall as you dare. That's where the time is. You try and cut the corner as much as you can without unsettling the car, because it is super bumpy. And then you really do run it as close as you dare to the wall. You're constantly inches away from making contact. Kappa's managed to find a bit of a gap from Cripps and Tokarev in second and third. Could have been a bit of battery use. Tokarev is very much in striking distance here of Cripps. Tucked right up under the rear wing as they make their way to turn 9. Will we see him pull out the slipstream last second? Had a little look, thought about it, but no move made of it. Less than 3 minutes to go. I think we should get about 3 laps if my maths is on point. Unfortunately, like I say, we don't have the mathematician of Darragh here, but we will make do. You can sit with my rudimentary maths. And I can confirm that the top 7 will be reversed. So as it stands, Callum Wilson, he might not know it, but that 7th spot that he's been fighting so desperately hard for could pay off for him in the next race. But he's going to have to desperately fight on for it in these coming laps. But I fear that may have been it right there, because Axel managed to just about sneak up and under in the final corner. And now it's a drag race down towards turn number 2. Wilson has been doing a stellar job at defending here. And it is one of those circuits, if you know how to defend, it's so difficult to get past. He's going to pull out of the slipstream though. Can he get late on the brakes? No, he can't. And Axon cements the position into Toyota. Now through the fountain, no real way past here. And that now means Axon will be on reverse grid pole as it stands. Of course, the drivers might not realise it yet, but I'm sure once they do, Axon's going to be jumping for joy that he managed to get that move done in the closing laps. Top 3, still no change though. Shoreline Drive, I think we're about to get the final lap. When does it start? It's about there. Okay, yes, final lap now. So it was 2 more, it wasn't 3. This is it. Can Kappa defend for one more lap? Callum Cripps in the hot seat because he's right in the middle of two drivers. He's got to try and see if he can get by, but make sure he doesn't lose the position while doing so. Oh, that was so close. It looked like a little bit of contact into the fountain section. Now through turn 5, take as much of that inside curb as you dare and then brush the wall as you go through. Out of 6, up to 7. If you've got the battery, you're going to use it here. This is a dive and a half. Oh, and it's all gone wrong for Callum Cripps. My dear, oh dear. This could allow Tokarev actually then to come back at the fight for the lead. Can Kappa hang on to it? Cripps has now lost more positions to Gravett and Herlock. Can he get that car going again? He's still sat there. Can't see why he can't. Into turn number 9. Kappa still leading. Can Tokarev put in one final move to take the win here? Or will it be 2 for Kappa this season? Last corner. I think this pretty much shows it up. Yes, he's got a much better exit. Kappa's going to easily cross the line in first and picks up the first win of the night and his second win of the season. He'll be happy and delighted with that. Tokarev second. Gravett, an unexpected third position. He'll be jumping for joy with that one. Herlock's going to cross the line in fourth. Cripps got going again and he will finish in 5th. Next is going to be Carlo Messina. Had to fight hard for it, but once he got past Wilson, he certainly pulled away. Axon there just in the background. He'll be happy with the reverse grid pole once he finds that one out. And then Wilson hangs on to 8th, keeping Osborne at bay. Zerwes is going to come home in 10th. And you've got a big gap. I say big, it's a fairly lengthy gap. Back to Fabian Michelon, 11th. Uhalau is 12th. Termenga will be 13th. Low, 14th. Christian Diaz-Emil will be 15th when he gets to the line. I think Nick Lowe probably won't be too best pleased with that result, particularly where he was for qualifying. So he'll have to definitely rethink his strategy going into the next race. And he'll get another crack at it. And Christian now coming up to the line to finish off race number 1. Well, that was very exciting indeed. And Alessandro Kappa, like I say, picks up his second win of the season. And Tokarev will have to settle for second place. Chris Gravett is rounding out your podium. And then we have Herlock, Cripps, Messina, Axon, Wilson, Osborne and Zerwes, your top 10. And points down to 15. They will be Michelon, Uhalau, Termenga, Lowe and Diaz-Emil. Bibaloni 1 lap back in 16th. And unfortunately we did lose Barthez and Trebek fairly early on. And those are rounding out the full grid. Don't go anywhere because we do have another race coming up. Another fantastic 25 minutes around this Long Beach circuit. Of course, the front 7 are going to be reversed just to shake things up a little bit. So like I say, quickly take a break, grab another drink if you need it, run to the loo, but be right back here very shortly for race number 2 at Long Beach. Hello, everybody, and welcome back after the short interval we've had there. We're gearing up here then for race number 2 at Long Beach, California in the United States of America. And while the driver's just getting ready and set to the grid, I would just like to thank once more our sponsors, Phoenix Sim Racing, are an organisation that are designed to help and support people with disabilities and help them get into motorsport with adaptive systems to accommodate their requirements. And of course, albeit through esports, sim racing, or out on the real tracks with real cars, Phoenix Sim Racing are there to help everyone in that sort of sense. And of course, Demon Tweaks as well. And they're able to offer a complete and innovative, I will get there eventually, motorsport, car tuning and motorcycle product range available worldwide. No matter if it's for your track days, being a first timer out there, or a seasoned racer looking for the latest kit, Demon Tweaks will have that for you, so go check them out. But cars are away from the starting blocks. Let's have a look at the grid. On the front row will be Alan Axon and Carlo Messina. We saw them have a fantastic battle last race. Behind them, and alongside each other is Callum Cripps and Daniel Herlock. And then we get to Chris Gravett and Vlad Tokarev, 5th and 6th. Alessandro Kappa, 7th, your race winner last time. And Callum Wilson will be 8th. Jordan Osborne, David Zerwis on the 5th row, 9 and 10, with Fabio Michelin and Radio Uhalau, 11 and 12. 13 will be Anton Tomengo and Nick Lowe in 14th, with Christian Diaz-Emil and Emmanuel Bibaloni 15th and 16th. And for the final row of the grid, it is Roman Barthez and Simon Trebek, our 2 non-finishers from race 1 here at Long Beach. It's race 5 and 6 we're having here this evening, if you're following the championship closely and with great detail. Hello everyone, welcome back again. Apologies for the technical difficulties we've just experienced, but we haven't missed any of the action, so that is good news. I believe they've just done their formation lap, and we are literally about to go green then for race number 2. Axon lining up on the right there, Messina on the left. The lights are away out, and they're off down towards turn number 2 of Toyota. Looks like it was a pretty good getaway there from the left-hand side. Messina's dropping like a stone as he makes his way further down and down the grid. Now 4th. I think Gravett and Tokarev are definitely going to try and get the move done early as well. Cripps with an amazing start into the lead. He goes. Axon 2nd. Herlock tries to get by. No way through for him though. Into Fountain. Messina's managed to collect himself back together. He's in 4th. Gravett 5th. Tokarev 6th. Wilson 7th. Kappa with not the amazing start he might have hoped for. He's 8th. Osborne 9th and Zerwes 10th at the moment as they make their way out of turn number 6 and up to 7. Callum Cripps with an amazing start, and he's going to look to pull away early on here. Can he finally get his first win of the season? That's going to be the question. Looks like Tokarev's going for the move on Gravett into Pine Avenue. Gravett defensive line. He's now probably going to become under threat though up towards turn 9 as he had to take a slightly compromising line to do so. Is this potentially going to be free wide? Messina in front as well. No, everybody playing it safe, calm and collected here on lap number 1, and rightly so I'd say too. Fabien Michelon having to look at defending, I believe, here from Uhalau. Uhalau's going to have the inside line though for the final corner, shows him the door pretty much in that of a solid wall, and he does get the move done, albeit in a slightly odd fashion. This is Chris Gravett then, now trying to make a move on Messina for 4th as they make their way to turn 2 for the second time. No way through for the time being, as this is now a move between Herlock and Axon. You never see moves there very often into the Fountain side by side. They're still side by side in 5. Axon getting it sideways as Herlock tries to barge his way through, door banging all the way. And poor Axon is now going to lose out to Messina. Gravett, his teammate Tokarev, is through as well. I think, has Wilson got him? No, Wilson is right there though. Oh, Axon has just lost 5 positions in the space of a few corners. I've got a funny feeling words might be had with the stewards after the race for that one. But either way, as it stands, Herlock did get through. Messina is behind him with Gravett keeping him with incredibly close company there. Tokarev, Axon, Wilson, Kappa, Osborne, Zerwes, still your top 10. Temenga, low, bumper cars in the final corner. Uhalau, Michelon, Trebek, Bibalonli, Barthez and Diaz-Emil down shoreline drive for the 3rd time. Is Wilson eyeing up Axon here? Pulls out, had a look at it, but no move came of it. Osborne's just been overtaken there. Sorry, not overtaken, he was trying to overtake. Kappa's defended well there, I should say. Cripps has got a 2-second lead over Herlock. That is absolutely insane. He'll be looking to try and defend that for the rest of this race. But he has got double race winner behind him in Daniel Herlock. No slouch. To ride on board here with Vlad Tokarev 5th into turn 8, almost clipping the wall on the way through, trying to cut off as much of the corner as he can there on that occasion. That's Uhalau defending from Trebek behind. Trebek got a little sideways as he tried to make his way through into turn number 9. No other big changes as of yet. This front, well, I say front 3. You've got a Cripps there running away. Herlock now getting a gap as well. Then you've got a battle here for 3rd place between Messina, Gravett and Tokarev. Tokarev now going to try and pile the pressure on, maybe looking to make a move into turn 2 of Toyota. Down the inside, it's going to be Gravett boxed in. He's gone deep. He's hit the wall. Oh, and there's a car on 2 wheels. That was Axon getting it all sorts of, well, sideways, 2 wheels up in the air, flying. My word. Looked spectacular as he did it. Did Gravett manage to hang on to 5th though after that mistake into turn 2? I think he has done just about, but definitely pressure on once again for him. I say pressure on, this is one of his teammates behind, so it might not be the pressure you're thinking, but drivers are certainly out there for themselves, but you know, they will play a team game if necessary. The man who's probably feeling awful right now is Callum Wilson. He's very much boxed in with the Unlimited Esports front and behind, but he's actually being looked at here by Alessandra Kappa, P8, trying to make a move for that 7th spot. Wilson doing a magnificent job once again at defending. How long can he do this once again? That is the question. Oh, I think that was Axon. That was Gravett in. Gravett's into the pits. Must have had a fair chunk of damage. Did well then to keep it where he was for the majority of that lap. As we jump back to the front, this was the battle that was a 3-car battle. It's now 2. Herlock though has not scarpered away all that much. There's still a chance then for these guys. Rips though very much trying to run away with it, and you could say he has done at the moment, because 2 seconds is quite a sizable gap in these cars, but it's not impossible around here. Like I say, concentration is at an absolute maximum at a street circuit, constantly having to make minimal adjustments here and there to get everything you can out of the car, and doing that at such tremendous speeds as well. It really taxes the mind. Here's the move for Tokarev, pulls out of the slipstream. Messina, I don't think really going to have an answer to this one. Late on the brakes into Firestone corner. Oh, a bit too late for Tokarev there. Clips the wall. How bad of a clip was it though? I don't think it was all that much. Yeah, he's still going round, no problems for Vlad. Up to 3rd, and will now try and pull away from Messina. I think he has got a bit more superior speed than Carlo. As we look a bit further back, Jordan Osborne, Unlimited Esports, currently P8 in this race, and is looking to try and get past Kappa. Ooh, a bit late on the brakes. I think he's going to make that quite easy, but it looked as though he almost went into the back of the camo-coloured car. Through the fountain section into turn 5 now they go. Still no changes. Wilson doing another stellar defensive drive here, but he is keeping with Axon in front, so of course he is no slouch, Callum Wilson. We've seen it from last year in the Touring Car Championships here at T6 Motorsport. Into turn 8, Pine Avenue, down this short back stretch. Is there a chance there for Kappa? Looking very, very close to the back of Wilson. Not going to be close enough here on the occasion though. Going to just have to wait, play the long game, play the patient game, and let the result come to you. He's going to look to focus on the exit. There it is. Went for a slightly wider entry and now he's going to try the cutback. Not going to get alongside just yet, but he's going to have a little bit more of a drag out of the corner, so that means he should be able to pull alongside at the very least. He should be able to get late on the brakes and go for a lunge. Wilson's going to be wise to those, going defensive, making Kappa go the long way. Comes back across though. He wasn't close enough to get alongside, and Kappa going to have to wait once again, because through here, unless your name's Daniel Herlock, you're not going side by side. Oh, that's a big mistake though there. That's Axon making a mistake. This has had a massive Constantina effect. Wilson tried to look and get past, but couldn't go for it. And now they've all backed up into each other. Is there going to be a change? Is this a chance? Kappa pulls out of the slipstream of Wilson. I don't think he's alongside though. Now Osborne's going to send it to the inside. Oh, they make contact. They both hold it. My word. How did they do that? I do not know. They're still going at it. Hammer and tong. Zerwes has gained a position. He's up to 9th. Temenga there in 10th. He's having a good race this time by. He's now going to try and get back past Zerwes. Can Osborne make a move on Kappa? Don't think it's going to happen here. Zerwes goes for the up and under through 9. Can he hold it around 10 to have the inside line for 11? I think he will. Yes, he does. Going to show Temenga where to stick it. Didn't get the best of X's though. Exits? As we're going to jump back to the front. Because Tokarev is going to go for the up and under on Herlock. We saw how this one went last time when drivers went side by side. Herlock's just about kept it in front as he's now let him through. Herlock's let Tokarev through. Vlad Tokarev has had a sensational start to this race. Finished second in the last one. And he's already back up to second. But he's got a bit of a mountain to climb. 3.8 seconds to Callum Cripps. That is a monumental gap. Less than 15 minutes to go as well. I fear that that could be raced over for the win at least. But it is still close and tense for many positions out here, particularly this one. Callum Wilson, he's doing his utmost still to try and defend the position from Kappa behind. Axon got a little bit squirrely out of turn 8 there, but does hold the position. Wilson looking to have to defend. Axon's going slow. Axon's going slow. Is this going to allow Kappa maybe a chance at a move? No, it doesn't. Turn 11. Look at the exit. This is the important part because you've now got the longest flat out section of the circuit once again. Shoreline Drive into Bridgestone of the kink here at 1. Can he pull alongside? Can Kappa finally make a move? Closing, closing, closing. Is it enough? Is he going to go for a late dive? No, he doesn't. Sits sensibly behind still for the minute. But he's going to need to make it soon if he wants to get some more positions. Wilson doing a fantastic job though, defending here. Really showing his skill on that front. Don't think he has been the quickest tonight, and that's no disrespect to him because he is a magnificently quick driver, certainly better than anything I could pull off. But tonight I fear he has been struggling a little bit, but in the defensive terms, this man, there has been no equal. He has made a mistake though, and now Kappa has finally got the chance. Maybe a bit of a burst of battery power and shoots on past Callum Wilson, and Kappa finally able to make it by. Next on the agenda for him is going to be Alan Axon. That didn't look to be the best of exits from the Unlimited Esports driver. I think this could also be pretty much a straight away another chance for Alessandro Kappa. Can he now get alongside Axon in the braking zone here? Turn 2, Toyota. No, sits behind, but Kappa's been very strong in this sector. Look how close he can get to it. He's got so much confidence in the car to do so as well. He knows how close the wall is to his door. Using every inch of circuit. Really is impressive stuff. Up to turn 7. Look at him. He's able to just use that extra few inches of road, but it's just giving him a small advantage in doing so. Axon goes massively defensive. Now, Kappa goes the long way. I think Axon's just going to give it up and let him have it, or is he? Still side by side down this back straight. Into Firestone corner now. Can Kappa hold it and go round the long way? Yes, he can. Into the braking zone he goes. And by he goes as well. Kappa up to 5th. 2 positions in 2 laps. What has he got left in the final 10 minutes here? Can he get up to his teammate of Messina? 6 seconds is quite a margin. I struggle to think he will do it. But we have seen crazier. I wouldn't rule it out. We've seen crazier. Tokarev's been closing the gap slowly but surely to Cripps. The gap is 2.5. Herlock's been sort of left a little bit in no man's land. He's 3.5 seconds back. Then we get to Messina, who is right. He's sort of, again, on his own at the moment. And then we jump back to this group here of Kappa, Axon, Wilson. 5, 6 and 7. Temenga's managed to find his way up to 8th with Zerwes 9th. And Osborne rounding out the top 10. Big gaggle of cars. Michelin is 11th and Lowe is 12th. Uhalau 13th. Bibaloni having a better race this time. He's up to 14th and in the points. And so is Barthez in 15th. Gravet, Trebek and Diaz-Emil, I fear, may have all retired. I think we'll get a bit more confirmation from that in a moment, potentially from Rich. Before the minute, we've still got Axon in 6th here that we're riding on board with. He's being chased by Wilson behind. And once again, Axon getting a bit of a poor exit out of the final turn there. And when that happens, it just allows, it just opens up the door to the guy behind to get a slightly better run, a bit of better traction, and then potentially mount an attack. And I don't know if he's making up for the poor exit, potentially with a bit of battery down the start-finish, because no one ever seems to get alongside him, which is sort of a bit baffling to me at the moment. But Axon doing what he needs to do to stay in 5th at the second. His teammate here, Anton Temenga, we haven't mentioned him much so far this evening because he's been a little bit of a not a dark horse, but sort of a bit quiet really this evening. Haven't seen all that, just haven't seen all that much of him. But he's doing well here in race number 2 of the evening. Race 6 overall, currently 8th, and got 2 positions in front of him. Could be some very good points indeed. Down the back straight they go. Wilson looking large in the mirrors there of Axon. He's being double teamed by the Unlimited Esports drivers. Is Axon trying to play the teammate game and help Temenga get by? Because in terms of outright pace, Axon last lap, let's see what it is as he crosses over the line. Last lap with 24.5, Wilson is a 24.7, Temenga matching with a 24.7, Zerwes behind is a 24.2. And the guys out front, you've got Kappa who's on a 23, Messina's just in the 23s, the leader of Cripps also in the 123s on the lower end of that scale. Sector 1, Tokarev has gone 5/10 faster than Callan Cripps, and now when I look over at the timing tower, he's actually within half a second of him. So I said earlier, I think race could be done and dusted, but I think race could well and truly be on for the win again. David Zerwes is here having a good second race of the evening. He's currently 9th and with a few positions up for grabs in front of him as well. He's right behind Anton Temenga. And here is that battle. Oh my God, it's absolutely neck and neck now as they come out of the final corner. Cripps just about got the drive out of it and will pull ahead of Tokarev. This is the battle for the lead. I thought it was too large. It was nearly 4 seconds. About 5, well, actually that's a lie. About 9 minutes or so ago. And Tokarev has absolutely done something incredible and brought that gap down to virtually nothing. They're bumper to bumper, toe to toe. Who's going to come out on top? That's the question. Can Cripps pick up his first win of the season? Or will Tokarev snatch it away for his second? Kappa managed it last race. Now is it the time of Tokarev? Who knows? Cripps in a different position though here. He is the leading car. He's not following. So he has effectively all the power with track position. He can dictate the pace a little bit more, and especially with a circuit like this, like I've said already many times, it is very difficult to overtake, being that it is a street circuit. But we have seen some very impressive ones this evening so far. if we don't see anything more impressive, I think potentially overtake of the day was Osborne round the outside. I believe it was turn number 7. Oh, I could be wrong there, but either way, it was mighty impressive. This is impressive though, side by side. Alan Axon Wilson's managed to try and go up and under. Now Temenga's going to get in on the action as well. They're going to be side by side through the final corner. Zerwe's now going to get in there too. Osborne not far off them. You got a sea of lime green with patches of yellow and purple in the middle. The two teammates now going side by side though. This is Axon and Temenga. Down towards turn number 2 of Toyota. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Who's going to get ahead? I believe it is Axon in front of Temenga at the moment, but it's very close indeed. So where's Osborne right in the mix? They're hungry for some more points and better positions. Battle for the lead still rages on up front. That's still half a second though. We'll keep an eye on that gap because we've got this battle being dished out here. 5 cars, all for 6th position here. As I believe, was that Axon letting Temenga go? No, it wasn't. Axon defending there, but Temenga, I think, was trying to get a better line out of the corner. This is allowing Wilson to sort of scarper a little bit. He'll be happy with that. Just under 4 minutes left then in this race. Will we see 18 laps once again? I believe we will. Or will we see 19? Callum Cripps pretty much just, you know, dropped everything and left right from word go. And so he really has been setting the pace out front. Really impressive laps. His best a 1:23.1. Tokarev's best a 1:22.6, and I don't think actually Chris Gravett a 22.5. So Gravett's still with the fastest lap out there. No big changes here in this battle, but now we've got some corners coming up where that could all go differently. Wilson's still leading this little pack. Then you have Axon, Temenga, Zerwes and Osborne. Little gap back there to Michelin in 11th. Gap out front still hovering around the 2nd mark. It comes up and down. It's fluctuating slightly. Daniel Herlock is in 3rd still, and with a massive gap behind the front 2. Messina's actually closed that gap in on Herlock a little bit. It's just over a second now there. Kappa has been closing in this entire time too. And this battle here we're watching unfold still raging on. On to Shoreline Drive for the 16th time for there. It'll be the 17th time next time around, but they've just started their lap is what I'm getting at. I think it is going to be an 18-lap race once again. It makes sense that it's the same. Rip's still leading, putting out a little bit of a gap now to Tokarev as well. So that's about 1.5 seconds there. You've got Herlock, Messina, Kappa, and then we get this group here of Wilson, Axon, Temenga, Zerwes and Osborne. That is your top 10. Michelin Low, Uhalau, Barthez, Gravett and Bibiloni. Trebek and Diaz-Emil, I think those two have retired, unfortunately. It certainly looks like it. Through Pine Avenue. All important exit. If you're enjoying the races or have enjoyed the races, because we haven't got very long left at all, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all of the usual stuff, and help Rich out grow this amazing sim league that he is able to put on, because it really is top stuff. Top quality drivers battling it out, of course, all for prize money as well. I believe it's about £300 is the cash prize pool that is up for grabs. So it's certainly No small fee, as that looks to be a massive mistake though for Axon. Through goes Termenga, and can Zerwes get past as well? That's going to be the interesting question here. But Axon on the final lap, making a mistake, and it's going to cost him a few positions, maybe more. Out of 6 now. Zerwes, can he try and find some momentum to get a move? That's going to be the question. Termenga probably very happy he picked that one up from his teammate. Didn't have to make it, didn't have to do anything for it. I think we've only got a few corners left for Cripps as well. The clock has struck 0, so where are they? Final corner, here they come now. Cripps going to be unchallenged at the line. He's going to take his first win of the season as well. Callum Cripps is your winner for race 6. Tokarev second once again. Mighty impressive stuff. Herlock going to be next across the line. Messina is not far behind him as well. A few lapped cars in there for good measure. Tapper is going to come home 5th. Here comes Wilson for 6th position. Termenga, I think, is going to have 7th nicely wrapped up. Axon, Zerwes, and then Osborne. Last 2 there. That was close indeed as they got to the line. Michelin next in 11th. Then comes Nick Lowe for 12th. Uhalau has 2 corners to go. He'll take 13th position because there is nobody challenging him behind, as Barthez in 14th is some 17 seconds back. And then we get to Chris Gravett in 15th. They're still yet to cross the line. Here's Barthez. It's a shame we don't see much of his car, because his and Biboloni's car for the Esport Racing Argentina, it's very well designed. I do love their livery that they've got. Brilliant mix of colours. And it's getting its time in the sun now as he crosses the line to finish 14th. Chris Gravett not far behind, 15th. He'll pick up the extra point for the fastest lap, will Chris? But he will be ruining the mistake that he made that cost him a good points haul there. Callum Cripps, though, does take his first win of the season. Fantastic for him and his championship fight. Vlad Tokarev is going to come home in another 2nd spot. I think he will take the lead in this championship. Potentially not. It is quite close at the top there. Daniel Herlock 3rd, because he's also right there in and amongst it. Carlo Messina 4th. Alessandro Cappa with a respectable 5th in the end. And Callum Wilson 6th. Termenga, Axon, Zerwes and Osborne round out your top 10. Bottom 7, I want to say. Michelin, Lowe, Uhalau, Barthez and Gravett. Biboloni 1 lap down, and then unfortunately Trebek once again DNFing, and this time with Diaz Emil right down at the back. So an evening to forget for Simon Trebek. I have no doubt he'll pick himself up and go again in a fortnight's time for the Touring Car Championship. Well, don't think about it too long and hard, though, because next time out in a fortnight's time, we are heading to Alton Park, one of the all-time British classics in terms of racing, particularly in the touring car class. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic to go there and see what these drivers can do. But if you are sort of, getting a bit sad that it's a fortnight's time, don't worry, because we've still got some fantastic racing action to bring you here at T6 Motorsport, because next week we'll be heading to the Porsche Cup Series for that GT3 Cup car there. So no ABS, no traction control, to see what the drivers can do and muster up around there. I'm unfamiliar with what circuit they're heading to, but you will be seeing some racing action nonetheless. But for me tonight, that is everything we have lined up for. My name is Ashley Denman. Very special thanks once again to Rich, who puts everything on for us. And I hope you have all enjoyed. So don't go anywhere. Like I say, 1 week's time, we'll be heading for the Porsche Cup cars. And then we'll be back in a fortnight's time for Alton Park. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.